Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Garage Studio Modelers. I'm Dave Forrest, this is my good friend.
Harvey Lowe.
And in today's edition, we're going to compare a build of two Panthers, a tale of two Panthers.
Another Panther.
Another Panther, yeah. So in one of our previous episodes, we did a kit review on this new Super Blitz Panther, which is all the rage, I guess. And then I figured, hey, it would be interesting to compare this simplified, easy, quick build to a Dragon kit. Now, mind you, this Dragon kit is also a smart kit, which was their attempt to kind of knock down the part count and ease the assembly process. But these are two very different kits, let me tell you.
And two different time periods. Right? Because this is what?
No, these are kind of end of war.
Oh, what I meant is release dates.
Oh, yes, of course.
Right?
Sorry,
this is what, 90s? Early 2000s?
I would say 2000s.
Yeah, and this is recent.
This is hot off the press, really.
So what, 20 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so this is, for me, as you can see, I have a lot of Dragon kits, but I don't build a lot of Dragon kits. Okay. So this is a foray back. And I have to say, maybe a few general comments. I have to say, these guys were ahead of their time.
Yeah.
They really were, and we'll kind of get into it a little bit later, but just some examples. They have, today's newer TACOM and Ryfield model kits, you have tools that have the clamps molded on, and like the
molding's better.
Well, the detail is but these guys are doing this like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, with photo etch and stuff.
Well, just molded.
Oh, it's just the molding.
Yeah, like again, there's just the grills that are photo etch, similar to this kit. So it's kind of it's two concepts at different times, but just a different approach. And I would say, I was talking about the detail on this kit being fairly good, but the detail on this kit is phenomenal.
Still.
Like it's amazing. A little bit over complex, more than it needs to be in some cases. Because I'll give you an example. So here, like you've got to put all of the swing arms in separately, and there's other pieces that you got to go in here to secure them, and they all kind of, move. But there's a tab on here that allows you to fix them, which I will probably do because I'm not going to manipulate the running gear in any way.
But you cannot manipulate the running gear on that one.
Well, yeah, the running gear on this is all fixed.
It's fixed.
This is all a piece.
Yeah.
Right? So it took me, like over an hour, well, more than an hour, probably a couple of hours to put together this. Yeah. So this was all molded one part.
And it's true.
And it's true, it's straight. And yeah, you've got the hollow bits here, but the wheels cover them up so you don't see them.
But you just can't do a diorama on rough ground with that guy.
No, exactly. Okay. Whereas you could maybe with this guy.
No, Dave, I built the main Panther a while back.
Oh yes.
And it's not easy build. Like the polycaps didn't fit, and I had a lot of problems as well.
Yeah, I did
very
I did their Panther D.
Yeah.
And I had the same problem with the polycaps. And I said to myself, I'm never going to build another.
Yeah, I ditched it. I ditched the polycaps.
Panther.
Yeah. It was,
although they make some great kits. But
and I got that special issue with Barkman in Tokyo. So I thought, wow, but it wasn't an easy build.
No, I ended up like, for that one. I took out all the polycaps. I threw them out.
Yeah, me too.
And I glued all the wheels on, and then I strapped them with clamps.
Yeah.
With two steel rulers.
That's what I did.
Right. To get it to line up. It was the only way. It was painful.
So I was going to make a comment to our audience, the loyal audiences that watch us. We do everything ad lib, but when we do we're doing kit reviews, but we're actually building the model and telling you the experiences that we've had, the tips, the approaches, the pitfalls, and we're going to do the same with your Panther.
Yeah.
So we're always here because we're building all the time. All the time.
Yeah, and we're sharing experiences, good or bad.
While I love kit reviews and inbox, we do a few here. We're like, let's build it and let's see how it goes together.
Exactly. So, so I got the turret. So this was about what? Maybe half an hour's work last night.
Really?
To build this turret.
The whole turret. No, this is this one.
That's that one here.
Okay.
This one will be a little bit more complicated, but not too much. I think the main difference is in the running gear. Just the way everything is done up. But the detail on this is amazing. Like you've got You've got mold lines, weld lines, securing the sponsons to the hull, right? The cast texture on both of these is pretty. But I would certainly go over this with some Mr. Surfacer and stickle it and create it. This one I'm debating because it has pretty good cast texture right out of the box.
Right.
But then they do something stupid where they have. They have these like the fans and the air exchangers or whatever here, and when you try and follow the instructions, and I don't know, I thought I was following the instructions and they're off, right? So they don't quite line up.
Oh, they don't line up.
So you have to again going back to these drag instructions, like they're terrible.
It depends on the kit, I suppose.
Yeah,
I
look at this. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to cram all of this into, like, and then it does. You have to look for like, okay, well, you have these little kind of shock absorber things that go on the side of the hull, but it doesn't. You have to really look for where it calls it out, and then it gives you two versions, and it doesn't tell you which version to use. Yeah. Right. So just.
I'm working on the Dragon 8-ton SCKF Z7, and there's errors in the instructions. The numbers are off in the parts. That happens.
Yeah, yeah, and here the instructions are pretty. I mean, not fancy.
Yeah,
like they're not wings instructions, but they're pretty good. They're okay.
So you're saying that if you were back in the '60s building this, you would have whipped out the wall. That's when ooh, this one's good. Like think of it, when you were kids, could you build that with this complexity?
When I was a kid?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No, I'd have given up the hobby, right?
Well, they look like Panthers.
Yeah, I think dimensionally. Yeah, I think dimensionally they look. I'm not an expert, and I'm not going to take a ruler and measure and count rivets. And
I am. I know everything about them.
Okay. But yeah, they look like Panthers to me.
Oh, by the way, just a side note. Jim Mescal, rest in peace, was a great friend of mine. He got me into the Jacques Littlefield Museum when it was a museum in California.
Oh, wow.
And they had a Panther under restoration there in the workshop. And I remember they just let me in there, go look at the thing. And there was no cameras back then. I'm an honest guy. You could take parts, I wouldn't do that. But the fact that you could go in there.
What would you do to a Panther?
Yeah, really. You could try to take one of those. It weighs a ton. But it was really neat to see the size of that vehicle. When you're standing in and next to it and kind of working around the turret and inside. It's really
there's a Panther at the Ottawa Museum, isn't there?
Is there? I don't know.
I thought there was a G. There is a Panther.
Is there one up there?
Yeah, there was a Panther at the Ottawa Museum. And I know at the there's at least one Panther at the Tank Museum at Bovington.
Is there one? No, and there's not one. There's not one at Camp Borden. I don't think. I don't think there's one up at Camp Borden.
I don't know. I know they have
the Whirlwind.
Yeah, the Whirlwind and the Black Panther,
and the Hetzer.
And the Hetzer, rather. Yeah.
Okay.
Have to get up there one day and keep talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very, very different approaches. So this will build up. This is a dream to build up. So this is really a pallet fencer. It's funny. We were at a local hobby shop yesterday. And I was talking with the owner, and he had a bunch of these. And he says, do you have this kit? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, well, what do you think? And I go, yeah, it's pretty good. He goes, well, I can't sell any of these.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
really?
That's what I said.
Why?
Yeah. Well, so we started talking about it, and he says, I don't know. I bought one. I thought the price was wrong because it's so low.
Yeah.
So it retail in Canada, it retails for $35. I think in the US it's $25. And he says, I bought it, and I bought like 6 more, and the 6 are still sitting on my shelf.
Why is that, you think?
I don't know, but in talking with it, so I was with a couple of friends, as you know, and we were talking about it, and I was talking about my experience. I thought, hey, it's a good kit. I mean, the track, I talked about, and I was very honest, that the tracks I would throw out.
Really?
Yeah, because I would get steel tracks.
I mean, look at the ones you get in this kit.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then I bought a couple of sets of 3D printed tracks to compare. Now, these, well, we'll get back to the tracks. Let's finish the story.
Cool.
So, and he opened up one of the, and I was showing people, here's what the tools look like. Here's the one-piece hull. Here's the detail on some of the weld seams, and maybe put some Mr. Surfacer. Like I'll put some Mr. Surfacer on the side of the turret just to kind of build up the cast texture a little bit. but you don't have to. Like that's artistic license, right? Maybe makes me feel better. I actually did something with the kid.
After feel better, add it, but you don't have to.
But you don't have to. But after going through all of the highlights of the kit, he sold 2 on the spot.
Oh, nice.
So I said, I think the way you approach this is that this is really kind of a nice palette cleanser because you can just build it.
Yeah.
It comes with a metal barrel. It comes with photo etch for the grills. Like you have everything. The tracks. I mean, if you're fussy about the tracks, like I am, maybe you get different ones. One of them said, "Well, I got full tracks. Will they work?" I'm like, "Yeah, full tracks will work great on this." So it's a good kit, and they're coming up with a Yak Panther, a late Yak Panther as well. Which after buying this and kind of having the positive experience of having with this, I would definitely get the Yak Panther.
Well, if you are in this hobby to have fun, then that's one thing. If you're and some guys are like this. If you're in the hobby only to compete seriously, do you know what I mean? There's various reasons you're in the hobby.
Some people might turn up their nose.
But at the end of the day, like remember I did that 1/200 Yamato. I was offered, although it was too late, I was offered that, I think it's Prontias. It's the really detailed photo etch set.
Oh, Prontus?
Prontus. Huge, very expensive. I didn't use it because, it was too late. But the fact is, by the end of the day,
grind the build right down.
Right.
Oh my God.
And then, I finished it in 2.5 months, but I finished it.
Well,
do you need all? I mean, I'm not cutting the companies that do that, but if you love adding all those little, go to it. But if you just want to get stuff done, I think in the last 2 months I've built and finished 6-7 models, right?
Well, let's talk about what you need or what you don't need, right? So
those are the tracks.
Yeah. So I would just throw that out.
Really.
No good. Throw those out. They're not good.
Okay.
But if you look at, for example, they have the tools. So they have, and you don't have to get too close in this, Robert. But so they have the tool brackets that sit on the side of the hull, and they have where the what do you call this? The twin clevis.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Or whatever this thing is, the clevis. I think I should know this. The clevis. They have the two holders and they're hollow, but they're still quite thick. So I might drill these out just to thin them out a bit. But that's it. I mean, these are why would I bother replacing? I could get there's all kinds of 3D printed sets, and the 3D printed sets are gorgeous, like by Heavy Hobby and whatnot. It's really raining out. No, I just
look at the muzzle brake. It's not bad.
Yeah, and the muzzle, I have 3D printed muzzle brake, which I usually go with. But I look at this, and if I can get it off the sprue and clean it
up,
you don't need it.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a guy who buys a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
I
don't know how many of our viewers out there. The majority probably have more kits that'll last them till the age of 100. So.
Oh yeah.
If you enjoy the process, great. But I like to finish things.
I do too, but I'm notorious for jumping around.
Oh, I am.
I might start something and then lose interest in it, and start something else.
I'm like that.
And lose interest in that, and start something else. And
Dave, I got 15 things going. 15 going.
Yeah, me too.
But I finish them all. I do.
Well, this year so since the start of the year, the calendar start of the year, I've finished 5.
5?
Yeah.
So I'm at 6.
So one of them was a new build.
That's true.
Well, actually, I kind of started it late.
Okay, new builds. How many new builds from Gen 1 finished to now? New builds.
0.
Oh, 0 so far.
No, so maybe 1. Maybe the little Stewart I did, that was fairly quick. Okay. So that was a new build. The other 4 were things I'd started at some point last year and finished off this year.
I've got 2.
And that was kind of a New Year's resolution. I said, well, I gotta knock off some of these shelf cleans.
Right.
That were close.
Well, you're still working. I'm kind of partially retired, but
yeah.
And all I do for a living, actually, a lot of people know me online, social media. That's all I do for a living is build and articles and write, and that's all I do. So I got 2 done, and they're both scratch builds.
Well, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That would take me. I mean, even if I deigned to entertain us doing a scratch build. Which I wouldn't.
I need that.
But if I did, it would take me over a year. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right? And get frustrated with it or put it aside.
I like the process, and you don't have to be meticulous. You're not seriously about entering now.
Well, you're good.
You want to just.
The Key 55 is amazing.
Well, thank you.
But anyway,
that's another day for another video. That's going to Japan. All right.
Well,
So
we should do that one.
We should.
But
that does look like something I would. Yeah, let's just get a Panther done in a week.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I'll spend more time painting because I want to do this type of finish.
Yeah. Oh, that one.
Well, not specifically that one. There's
Well, what
another
markings do they give you?
Oh, they give you a few. Yeah, it's late war.
So that would be Berlin.
Yeah, there's.
This could be Berlin.
I need my eyes.
You can see that this is unedited because we just heard the F-bomb. Now we're going to get wiped off that channel.
Probably
on YouTube
for good reason. So this is Berlin. So this is kind of got your traditional camo.
I like Berlin.
This is this is in Paderborn, Germany, and then you've got these two here. And the nice thing is, so this is the box cover one. So this has the traditional mantlet, no chin.
Oh right.
And this has got the same type of markings or the same type of camo finish, but has the. So I want to do the chin mantlet.
The chin, yeah.
I love the late Panther G
the
chin mantlet. So it'll be this type of scheme, but different number, and I'm assuming I might do a little bit of research just to confirm that the markings are accurate, but I'm going to assume that they are. Yeah. So we're gonna continue to work through. I'm gonna replace this here with. I'll use. So let's talk about the tracks. So you saw me throw out the tracks. So I ordered. So I do have the Fruel tracks, which are an option. But these 3D printed tracks are just stunningly gorgeous.
Is Fruel still in business?
Yeah, somebody they weren't, and then somebody bought them out, and then you're starting to see their stuff pop up now again.
But I think there's a lot more resin 3D printed options. Not
to
say they're not, And
at one point in time,
that was it.
Well, yeah, and I thought if there's one thing you can add to like a track vehicle, it's the metal tracks.
Yeah,
just the weight of them, the way they sag, and at the time where you were mostly competing with band tracks. Now with these guys, like these are stunning. Like,
oh wow!
So you get
look at these.
So you get it took me like 3 minutes to put this together. Not even.
They take this off.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
And they give you pins. So
pins.
Yeah,
well.
so you get a pin that goes in each, and there's different pins. So you get a pin that has a bigger head on it that goes on the exterior side, and a pin with a smaller head that goes on the interior.
Can you imagine as a 10-year-old doing this?
Oh my god! And then you look at, and we're just not going to be able to get to it, but you look at the detail of how these are printed, and firstly, like it's almost a shame. It's almost a shame to put these as on the running gear and muddy them up because the detail's gorgeous. Like you'd almost want to get a box of these and just keep them for spare tracks that hang on the vehicle or on the turret because they're absolutely stunning, and they're drilled like usually if I'm working with even like a Fruel track, or well maybe not a Fruel track, but if I'm working with like a kit track, and I want to put it on the side, like, then they have it here. Like they give you tracks for hanging off the back of the vehicle. They don't drill a hole all the way through to simulate what a real track would look like, right? Like these pieces here are solid, so I often have to go through and drill them out to keep. But this comes out like, and it's perfect.
Really?
Yeah. So like I would get a box and just keep them for spare tracks.
Other stuff.
Yeah, that you would put on the vehicle itself, not on the running gear. It's stunning. Like just go. So I did a bit of a comparison. So here are the T-Rex. T-Rex is gorgeous. I've never had an issue with T-Rex. Their tracks are stunning.
Oh, you've already assembled these.
Just a little bit.
Look, they move.
And then I also did the same thing with. So I tried Panzer art. So I have a lot of other Panzer art stuff. Like they're great for details. They have nice figures. I've never tried their tracks, so it's my first foray to the track. And the tracks are nice, but they're about the same cost. I think actually these are a little bit cheaper. These were a little bit more expensive, slightly more expensive. But I would go with the T-Rex. I just find, and then the same type of thing, you get pin, but they don't make a differentiation of which pin goes in what side.
Right.
So the accuracy, I think, is a little bit better with this. But equally, I mean,
Are these pinned? No, you just glue these.
You just glue them.
You said that these guys were ahead of their times. When I look at these close up, Dave, they're nice. These are the detail is a little bit finer
sure.
and deeper deeper. Not that it matters by the time you add mud, but they are. There's a difference if you have that discerning eye for detail in this hobby.
And I have the sprockets together. So if I put these on the sprockets,
oh, and they fit.
Yeah, they fit beautifully. So these are the Panther
See,
ones.
there's your pallet cleanser. Look at that. Here I am scratch building. That would take me like.
Why would you bother?
Yeah. Like I scratch built tracks for weird Japanese armor. That would take me 2 weeks.
These are the T-Rex. T-Rex fit even a little bit better. But look at that. Right? So very, very easy. Now if I look at, I've got the sprockets, but now this I haven't tried. So this may be.
Oh, this is from the Dragon Kit?
This is from the Dragon Kit. So so I haven't tried these.
You haven't?
No. So this could be.
Here we go. See.
This could be very
live. Well,
this could be very. Yeah, they fit.
They fit
like beautifully.
Wow. Now, when you paint a model, do you put the tracks on and paint them around the wheels like that?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Now, in this case, so it's a great question. In this case, let's see the Panther fit beautifully. So,
I think because they fit so beautifully, you could paint them separately.
Yeah. So what I would do, it's a great question because I was kind of going into this. I said I'm just going to glue everything on and paint it. And again, like. With the DAS, look at this. Like you get, right? It's like I've seen this on some of I think the border models, Tigers, which is great for like lining up all the wheels.
So do not cut these off.
No, don't cut these off. Like this just keeps like this.
Like the alignment.
Yeah, like here. Let me put.
There's your IPMS USA national winner right there because the alignment's done for you. Just saying.
Yeah. So look, these go on here.
They're done. You win.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's your inner, right?
Everything aligned.
And then you have these other ones.
Yeah.
Which ones? I think these go on here. No. These ones. I think these ones go here.
Call yourself a modeler?
I don't know. But look. Let's assume these are the right ones.
You know, while you're doing that, I was working on the Dragon 8-ton. Or sorry, 8-ton half track. And it's just really difficult to get the alignment like that. That's what took you 5 seconds.
That should have taken me 2 seconds.
The alignment on the Dragon SDKF Z7 took me 2 hours.
Yeah.
To get it aligned.
Yeah. So what I might do is I'll probably leave these off.
Yeah.
Paint these separately because they're they're different colors, right? So I'll paint I might glue the inner ones on.
By the way, I took your advice first time. Remember you said you do the rim?
Yeah.
I did that with an airbrush. You're right.
Yeah, if you just stay within
there.
And with the weathering, like
I did it on the SDKF Z7.
Yeah.
You're right. It's like, wow. Instead of doing individual wheels.
Yeah, I think it's...
by the time you put mud on them and a dusting coat...
You don't see it. So I might glue these on either side and then leave everything else off and then paint them separately.
So you're absolutely...
And then because I'm not going to put any shields on this...
right.
So I can get at the running gear and run the... Right?
I've always said you're smarter than you look.
Well, there you go. Now, on this one, I'm not sure what I'm going to do because they're all individual wheels. So maybe the same thing because, again, no shields. So it's just completely exposed.
Are these? Is there any play?
Yeah.
There is play.
Yeah.
See, so you put the wheels on, you got a lot of alignment stuff.
Well, but you can, like I said, there's little tabs, and you can't see them, but there's little tabs that prevent it from going up any further. And I just got to see if I think that's the right height. So I think they put them there. So if you wanted to fix and have an alignment,
like a straight road or surface. But still, on something like this, I use a ceramic tile, right, to get the alignment. That one, you don't need anything.
No, exactly. Like you just have to be a little bit more careful about this.
Yeah. So what I do for these ones, I put it on a ceramic tile and I put a slight little weight on it. Just push the model down, and you get a flat. So that you don't need it.
Yeah, so I think I would paint the wheels off on this as well because you can get at them.
Yeah.
And then you're just running the 3D printed tracks.
Yeah. Nice.
So we'll continue to, as the builds progress and as issues arise, which they're bound to, we'll continue to kind of talk about it on the program here. There may be some other sets that I use particularly for the DAS work. So and I haven't figured out if like what, if anything else I'm going to use aside from dealing with the track holders at the back. But once we figure that out, we'll share that out. So
Great.
thanks a lot for hanging out with us, and we'll see everybody next time around. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.